Boy, this is gonna be fun. Hi guys, it's Lumi and Finisher, and let me set up. I was going to sit up on the couch, and well, that's where we're going to go. But I figured first, like Michelle said to me, she says you're going to have to announce the stream because otherwise I can't share it because I have to be live to announce it because I don't have it set up to pre-announce the show. Talk about crazy, huh? So is it live or is it not? Is it live? Is it Memorex? I have no idea. So is it live? Yeah, it's live. Good. All right, so let me share this out to everybody, and that in Michelle's groups and in my own groups. What groups? I ain't got any groups. But yeah, I'm nervous wreck. I really am. Michelle did share some of these clips in some places, but I don't know how this is going to go. I never do. And so the video is I do want to go on the couch. Feeling nervous. Sounds good to me. Yes, nervous. All right, here we go. So I'm going to be feeling nervous. Well, here's why. These kind of shows, there's absolutely no guarantee that things are going to go well. And for some reason, I don't know if the video is playing or not. Oh my God, I hope it is. There we go. Nope. Yeah, nope. What the heck? Okay, so it's working, but it's jumping around a little bit. All right, so let's get to the couch, and as like I said, I'm a nervous wreck. This is one of the few times I've ever actually streamed. I did a couple of vlogs like this, and that was fine. But this is the first time I've ever streamed with this look, and you can really, you can see me. Okay, so let's go over to the couch because that is where I like to do my business. Because it's what it's called on the couch. It's not called at the desk. So let's get this thing on the screen here. And let's head over to the desk. And then we can get our couch so we can get started. All right, so. Oh, my goodness. Somebody one time said to me, said, Miss Lumi, your hairpiece is too low and you can't see your eyes because they're all covered with hair. Well, let me honestly tell you this right now, guys. These get really hot. And this is such a milestone of thanks to technology. We can do shows like this. And maybe I should get the camera closer to me. But, well, that's good. I guess as long as they can hear me. And as long as they can hear you or read your screen, that'll be fine. But each one of these lights is 300 watts a piece. And so they get really hot. And we got the fan on in the bedroom and the window open over there to draw the air in here to keep it cooler. And so, I mean, some of you might say, well, are you going to take any phone calls? Well, we can. We could take phone calls. But before I do any phone calls, I want to try to get some people to watch or to speak up in the comment section. And like I said, this is all new. I'm never sure how this is going to go. Even one without the hairpiece, I'm a nervous wreck in live streams by myself. You see Michelle sits on the side, passively watches, and she's sort of keeping notes of what's going on and determining if what I need to improve on from my on-screen presence. And I think that's a great thing because, I mean, she's pretty impartial. She can get really, really precise and get in your face and literally tell you what it's at. And like she said on her stream or on her vlog earlier, why she likes this wig is, she says, is because it's very commanding. It's right in your face, metaphorically speaking, mind you, not literally, although it's certainly in my face literally as well. Yeah, it looks good. And of course, we tried to work on the eyebrows to make them look better. You ask me when I look, this looks like I look like a giant pencil head. Sorry, it's true. I look like a fucking pencil head. It's very pencil head with a very unshaped, like how some people sharpen their pencils with a razor blade and then they end up getting like unsmooth edges and stuff. This is what it looks like to me. I'm not used to this at all. No. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Seeing if we can get people in the chat today. But I don't know where everybody else is. Where is everybody else? Where is everybody? I see 3 watchers. 2 watchers. Oh, come on, 2 watchers. Let's go. Hey, look, you guys try doing this in time. It's a challenge. But we will just have to work our way on through. First thing is, these live shows, Michelle explained to me, is when she basically kind of covers a recap of the day. And she'll take phone calls sometimes, and they will. And I first of all, I don't have that much of an audience. I don't have that much of a presence. And so because I don't have much of a presence, I don't expect to get a ton of people to jump into the show. And that's something that's reality. But when people who do come on the show, I mean, there are some crossovers, of course, from Michelle's channel. And they really don't mean harm. But then there are those on the show, Michelle's channel, that are like, oh my God, Michelle must be really sick in the head. If she's got 2 channels and they're all different people and there are 2 souls in one body and one puts on a dark brown hairpiece to distinguish her channel from Michelle's channel, and it's almost like they're trying to compete with each other. No, Michelle and I are not trying to compete with each other. We're not trying to compete. Absolutely not. We are actually very proud to be sharing this body together, and we are benefiting from the fact that modern technology makes it possible for us to do this. We get a chance to represent ourselves, and I mean, I don't know how to explain it other than that. I just, like I said, I'm just a nervous person. I'm not used to doing this kind of stuff. I'm not used to being on camera like this. I don't know. I know Michelle has all of her stuffies here. Right now I'm sitting in front of I Love You Bear. Maybe it's Hello Mosquito. Oh, there's Hello I Love You Bear. This is Michelle's teddy bear. And this is the little bear that's been on the couch for years. And of course, Hello Miss Kitties and other animals on this couch. So it's really kind of a strange setup to have the opportunity to be here. And what I'd like to do is I'm open to discussion. We could discuss pretty much anything. And I know the one topic somebody asked me about has to do with mental well-being and 2 souls. Now, I'm not going to sit there and get too much heavily into us specifically, but I will discuss some of this. The number of people that are twin-souled in the United States, in the world, is extremely small. It's not a very common thing. I don't know what the statistics are, but I do know that some of the people I have heard of are not married to their cohabitant. They're friends only. But there are some that, like Michelle, have embraced me in much more profound way than other people have. And the sad truth is that people are out there and they're always saying, "Oh, that's statistically a fluke. It's unusual. That's rare. Usually, the other persons don't let the soul express themselves," and that's true most of the time. The twin soul and the other soul work together and quietly work behind the scenes. But the sad truth is because of the lack of discussion, because of the lack of, asking questions like, how does that work? People have no clue of what's going on. They can't just go, oh, wait. Wait. You're twin souled. And they're flipping through the DSM-5, some armchair psychiatrist, and going, let's see, flip. Two souls. Where's that? But I can't find it in the DSM-5. Gee, then it must be something else. And then they end up on a multi-personality disorder or DID, and then they go, it's multiple personality DID. No, because DID people don't share communications with each other at all. They don't talk to each other. They have no idea of what's happening when the other soul takes in. None at all. None at all. They don't even have any way to communicate with each other. In the case of this dissociative identity disorder, it is a coping mechanism usually due to trauma or stress. And that's what makes it harder, because Michelle and I are involved with several people in the mental health industry, and we're part of a study. And as part of a study, we work with these people, we work with these psychiatrists and psychologists and psychotherapists, and we're trying to understand, why are we here? Why do we do what we do? What is it like to have two souls? Is it really a dysfunctional issue? Is it a complementary issue which helps the person to excel at what they need to do? Well, I don't know of too many other twin soul people personally. But I'll tell you what, I don't see, and neither does Michelle's mental health team, see Michelle's and my union to be a bad thing. We look at this as a marriage. In fact, me and Michelle, we're married. We are still married. And we deeply love each other. But the thing is that one of the things is, it's because people say, oh, you got two souls, you must be sick in the head. Why? What makes you person think you have to be sick in the head? If the two souls work together and achieve great things, that doesn't mean you're sick in the head. Did Michelle do what Adam Lanza did and go out there and shoot a whole bunch of kids in an elementary school? Of course not. Does Michelle abuse animals? No. Does Michelle hurt people? No, not on purpose. Sometimes she says things because she can be kind of brusque, and that's because of her Asperger's more than anything. No, so I would say no. Is Michelle a danger to herself? No. So what is the issue? I think it really is, it's the unusual factor. That is the factor that, because it's so unusual, it's got to be broken. They used to say the same thing about autism back in the 60s. And autism and Asperger's, a autistic spectrum disorder, is a lot more potentially debilitating than two souls sharing one body that help both to achieve what they need to achieve. That's a big difference. But one of the things to people with Asperger's is they have this problem of isolation. they're not isolated because they necessarily want to be. They're sometimes isolated because they're so terrified of social situations that they will curl up inside themselves and basically cannot function in a large group, because this is much more of a problem. It's called, they have things like pervasive developmental disorder. That's what it is. It's PDD. Now, PDD is becoming a very commonly diagnosed thing, especially in boys. And girls, it doesn't get diagnosed until much later when they get to be much older as adults. So all the support systems that they would have needed are no longer available to them, or the ones that do exist for adults with autism spectrum disorder for women are not necessarily easily accessible. So how can you say, if we are just starting to understand autism spectrum disorder in women since the 1990s, for example, actually studies go back a little further back, but mid 1980s, okay, to now, we're just starting to understand a woman with autistic spectrum disorder. And as long as the poor people don't even have a social system that helps them, they're going to stay isolated. And isolation, if you choose to be isolated and you want to be isolated, that's fine. Whatever floats your boat. But if you want to be a social person and you want to get out there, but because of your quirky nature, you're either are shunned or laughed at by other people, that's not helpful for the poor person. That is destructive. When people laugh at you and heckle you and tease you and make you miserable and make you feel inadequate and unsupported and unloved. And when you are lucky enough, if you have a twin soul and that you share your body with, and that soul is going to give you the equivalent of a warm hug and give you support and encouragement to help you to keep pushing on, regardless, that should be something that should be celebrated, because that person is helping the other person to overcome their limitations. And that's something that needs to be addressed. It's because your twin soul doesn't mean you're a monster. Think about that. Just because your twin soul does not mean you're a monster. I know, I got to stop looking at this damn phone because it confuses the hell out of me. It knows one talking to me. But because the fact is that, Michelle is trying so hard to inspire and outreach to so many people. First of all, let's look at the fact. Michelle Marie Delaney has multiple handicaps. She's legally blind. She's partially deaf. She has autistic spectrum disorder. She has mobility issues. But she's smart. She's intelligent. She watches the news. But the one thing in her world that she wants to be able to do, like a lot of people is she wants to fit in. But nobody's saying to her, hey, Michelle, you're really cool. I'd like to have you part of our group. No, they all look at her like, oh, she's too weird. I don't want her in here. Why? What I'm saying is that if you want Michelle to be part of your group and you love Michelle for who she is, and she thinks she's really, really awesome, come out and say hello to her, for God's sake. She's not going to bite you. She just basically wants to have a good time with you and share what she does. Same thing with me. I wanted to have my own channel, and I got my own channel in 2012. And I've been working on it on and off. But mostly I've been on Michelle's channel, doing Michelle's videos, helping her to produce content while I let my own channel wallow in the darkness. And I realized, I said to myself, everybody knows about Michelle, but nobody knows about me, because I'm talking most of the time with Michelle and no one gets to know me, the individual. Well, let me tell you something about me. I don't tolerate shit at all, especially from people who knowingly know better and continue to think that they should keep attacking people with disabilities or handicaps or people who are unusual. There's nothing wrong with being unusual. If the world didn't have people that are different, the world would be awfully boring if you saw everybody wearing this, every woman wearing the same hair, the same eyebrows, the same makeup, the same clothes, the same everything, same for the men, and everybody was just the same, well, what kind of world is that? It's a boring one. The world is very, very dynamic, and there's no reason in the world why anybody should be forced to have to live in such a static way at all. People need to understand that people need love. When I mean love, I'm not necessarily talking about sexual love, although that doesn't hurt to have that either. I got that plenty. But here's the thing I'm talking about is when the person comes out and to the community, and the community supports them and helps them to achieve great things by, maybe offering them some assistance to help break through the glass ceiling, then hey, you're 1,000% in the right path. Now, there's a couple people Michelle who knows, and I know, that are trying our best to help me and Michelle break through the glass ceiling. And they have been very hard at work trying to achieve great things. And that's something that we should be proud of. The only thing I forgot to do is share this video with one other group. And I'm going to share it real quick with that group. And that's another thing, too. Because this stream was not shared through the main system, it's going to take harder to reach out to the people that I need to reach out to. Okay? Guaranteed. But you know what? I'll tell you what. It's still a very fun thing to take the time to discuss things with people. Now, because of the heat and the stuff in here, I really have to be honest. I was going to go over to the other studio. You saw in the thumbnail that I ended up shooting a picture of me on the other studio camera, and there's no reason I shouldn't be over there. It'd be nicer if I can get some people to at least jump in the chat and discuss things with me and Michelle. Right now, it's my show, Michelle's show. I think maybe tomorrow she's just going to do another one. And then on Tuesday, she has a live show at 1 o'clock. And Wednesday, I have my live show at 1 o'clock. And then on Thursday, she's going to have her live show at 1 o'clock. And so it's going to be a really fun challenge to try to see how we're going to get all this to work together. And for my show, I can use, some assistance too, because I'm not a technical person. This is really different for me. And this is really a challenge to get things to be done. Everybody, I'm nervous. Sorry about that. But the thing is that we're going to try to reach out and discuss things and new things. So what I'm going to do is let me get ready to go over to the desk. And so because the energy use of these lights are so hot, let me just turn this camera off, and then I'll go over to our desk, and then we will take it from there, and then we'll see how that goes at the desk here. So I gotta be honest, I don't know how it's gonna work with headphones, but we'll have to see. Let's see. Headphones mess up your hair. It seems like headphones also mess up your head. Yes, they do. So let's get this camera on here. Let's solve this in, and here I am. And I see I have 4 watchers, but I don't see anybody commenting. What are you guys ready to talk? Let's talk. Let's talk a little bit. Although I do, man, if I can get you to watch the show, that's a hell of a step in the right direction. Really, all right. So I guess I'm not going to take phone calls tonight. I keep telling myself, please, please, please. I said to myself, don't take phone calls. For the love of Pete, don't take phone calls. Because I really don't think I'm going to get a lot of phone calls that I would call noteworthy. But you know what? It's getting like a moth to a flame. Yeah. You take phone calls, And it's the last one thing we're going to do of any sanity left is taking phone calls. So I'm not really in the mood to take phone calls. But in a way, let's see. Who's ready to... Oh, that's some of Michelle's notifications. But let's see. I really wish I knew how to explain why I was nervous, but I can't. So, just have to take it with a grain of salt. And so, if you guys out there in chat land have access to YouTube, please do. Don't be afraid to talk to me. I am here. I can read your screen. I'm right here. I'm right in front of my face. Right here is the screen. Just like Michelle set up here. I don't have to use the phone, but I'm going to just check something else on my phone real quick here and see if there's any other notes coming up. And I don't see anything. And let's see. Anything going on over here? No. Okay. Discord. There's two Discords. One is mine, one is Michelle's. Mine is called where is it? Lumi's Spiritual Corner. That's my channel. Lumi's Spiritual Corner on Discord. And Michelle's, of course, is the North American Snow Queen. And I have to tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing more people together. Look here. What anything, I mean, so I believe him for practicing medicine without a license. Oh, yes. I'm not going to go too much into that. But one of the most dangerous things you can do to anybody is when you actually think that you know everything about mental health and medical treatment, and then you go out there and you start saying bullshit, and then you talk about, oh well, you have this condition, like I said earlier, and the person, it's different if you are licensed and certified and have proper training to do that, because you got the responsibilities and the concerns of experience, work with different conditions. But that doesn't mean that the mental health community doesn't make mistakes either, because they do. The difference is that you, as a medical doctor, as a licensed professional, when you make mistakes, everybody's going to go, oh, wait a minute. You said she had this condition, doctor. Are you willing to testify this under oath that she has this condition? And the answer is yes, they have to, because they are medically licensed. If you try to go through and try to practice without a license, you will, it's a felony, and you cannot do that. And a lot of, I said, armchair psychologists or psychoanalysts have tried so hard to destroy people's well-being by giving them medical advice that they shouldn't be giving. So, so what people said on Michelle's channel last night is, if you don't have the proper licensing and training, it is not your place to say to somebody, oh, yeah, you are sick in the head because you have heebie-jeebies or some strange illness that unfortunately no one actually knows anything about. And don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You can be anything in the world you want. You can be a good person, and you can be, you can have your concerns and your fears. And I think some of it's just that. I think some of it's fear. That's my opinion. I think some of it's fear, because they're afraid. If Michelle has a twin soul, a partner in her life, a cohabitant, let's go with a cohabitant for this sake, then I'm jealous because I'm stuck up on my lonesome and I have no one else to talk to. Well, you shouldn't be. Bounty Hunter Dan says, did you just diagnose Pop and see you with mental illness issues? Pop, I acknowledged that he had several traits of Asperger's, but I did tell him that he needed to have it checked. And in the case of CU, we already know he has the substance abuse issues, and he is not in treatment for substance abuse issues. So that's a little different. I didn't say go out there and say, because I think you're sick in the head, and I think that you know, I have an understanding that in either case, I said, go get it checked. And that's what I said to both of them. And that's the truth. There's a difference between offering criticism and going out there and trying to sit there like you are some board certified licensed medical professional, trying to tell them that they should need to take certain medications or they need to do certain types of regimens. That's completely different. If you think they have an issue, you should let them know and quietly and say, hey, I think you have to work on something. Now, in case of CU, he does have to work on something. He knows he has to work on something. But if he chooses not to work on that, that's nothing I can do about that. Same thing with Pop. Pop, however, Michelle likes Pop. Pop is still very young. He's a teenager in high school, and he's actually pretty good. Hi, Yvonne. How you doing? Yeah, this is the other one that we were talking to last night. In my real look. Bounty Hunter says, actually, that's what people said to you. Oh, there we go. I forgot to turn that off. You know what it is? I forgot to keep turning this function off. Hit show. Oh, yeah, I'll show that one. Is that people really, I just think the main thing is that in this day and age of technology, it's so easy to forget that there's a human being on the other side of the camera. And of course, there's also a human being on the other side of the keyboard. And so in real life, if you met me, you probably would just say, how you doing? You know, how's your day? And on the internet, you think that you're anonymous and you think that, you know, you can go out there and you can rip people up and hurt people too. Yes, definitely. Let's see. Yvonne says hurt people. Yep. What did not? Yeah. Well, guess what? Anytime I hear that name is so verboten in this place. Goodbye. I don't deal with Tommy Wasserberg. Don't even come to me about Tommy Wasserberg. Because I don't want to deal with him. That's how almost all the major reprisals started, was because Michelle was encouraged to meet up with this guy. And Michelle had no knowledge of what this guy was doing. And then when she found out, and when she was totally boxed into a corner. First of all, I'm not Michelle. And second of all is, no, that's not the case. No, not at all. First of all, let me just briefly cover this. Did Tommy make up the story about Sabrina just to get attention on the show? I don't know. I met him online. Michelle met him online. And he's just, when she first met him online, he was just fairly down-to-earth guy that seemed to have a fairly normal chain habit of chain smoking, and ran a YouTube channel and specializing in crystals and rocks, which normally Michelle doesn't get into crystals and rocks. And he also plays the saxophone and a recorder. And all of a sudden, Michelle finds out from people that he's been telling a story that he has sexual intercourse with a girl when she was about, 14 years old. And this was in the 1980s. He's a 63-year-old man. And Michelle heard that, and she was like, what the fuck? You know, she was like, I don't want to be part of this. This isn't my stuff. She was so mad at the person who brought her to that channel. She was like, why did you bring me here? I don't support pedophile behavior. I don't support this. Why in the hell would you bring me here? You're encouraging people to swat Tommy. Oh, yes, I remember that. That's nasty. Yeah, well, what he was doing was nasty. He had to call the police on Michelle. And once the police came up to Michelle's apartment, they're going to say to Michelle, and they like, what the hell's going on? Who was this Tommy Wasserberg guy? And Michelle told them who he was. And they're like, well, this is a civil matter. This isn't for Winchester Police Department. Why did he call us? And Michelle said, you ask him. He's called the police on many, many people. He even called the Royal Canadian Mounted Police on one other person in Canada for outing him for his story. So you talk about a person that goes out there and causes harm for other people. Right now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to see if we can take what bad had happened, work it out, resolve it, and try to focus on getting ahead for the future. Because that's what we need to do. We need to focus on fixing what's wrong, not keep breaking the damn plate over and over again. We're not going to get this fixed if everybody keeps, criticizing people, backstabbing them, shoving stilettos in their backsides, and go, ha, guess what? You're not. Go away. That's what they're saying. Well, here's the deal. We all are quirky. Everybody in this earth has quirks. There's nobody in this world is statistically the truly normal person for a lot of reasons, social reasons, genetic reasons, biological reasons, whatever reasons. But like I said in the beginning, if we all look the same, sounded the same, smelled the same, talked the same, guess what? That'd be a very boring world. I'm not blaming you or anybody else. I'm just saying is that we need to work together and resolve the problems in this world. God knows there's enough real world issues that we don't have to sit there and keep blaming everybody for every other bullshit of every other problem in the universe, okay? There's no reason we need to do that. What we need to do, if we're going to fix this mess, is we're going to have to seriously look at the problems, and they're big ones. The world has big problems. A lot bigger than a person with two souls walking around and doing a YouTube video on the streets of Winston and basically showing the new construction site of the new store where the old golf gas station used to be, and then talking about how they're so sick and tired of eating McDonald's. There's nothing wrong with that. It's being honest. Michelle is an honest person. And yet everybody says things like, oh, Michelle is this bad person because she supports this action or that action. No, not at all. Far from it. You know what, Nathan? You don't get it, do you? You don't get it. You will never get it. I know. Part of me says I should boink you, or a part of me says I should ignore you. I partially answer you, so I'm not going to boink you and I'm not going to ignore you. But I'm just going to say right now is you do not get it. Okay? Big difference. If you get it, congratulations. You win a silver. If you don't get it, well, I can't help you. Let's be honest, let's not trash anybody. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure people understand this. I don't want to trash anybody whatsoever. I just want to try to do my show as best I can. But I want people to hear my side of the problem, the way I see what's going on with Michelle being traumatized and bullied because of our union. Now, you don't like it, that's okay. You know what? Sometimes you have to know when to just not bring things up into everybody else's ears. If you have a personal problem with somebody, you should discuss it with them privately. Monica says, so what's... Oh, let's see. So he says here, so what's the topic then? The topic is the fact is that I wanted people to get to know me as the individual and understand that I'm trying to work with Michelle to help Michelle overcome her limitations caused by her autistic spectrum disorder. And of course, I have it as well because I share the same physical brain, but I also have a different part of the brain. For example, I can hear things sometimes Michelle can't hear. So sometimes I will tell her if she misses something, and if I pick it up, I'll tell it to her. Or if Michelle is like freaking out, one of the things I will do is I help Michelle to calm down and to reassess and reevaluate why she's upset and stressed out. That's what I do. How you doing, Nutella? Yeah, I know. I was just trying to explain what I do. Of course, some people realize I thought I was just going to do just a bitch fest. Wasn't going to be my intention. I'm not going to do just a bitch fest. Just getting ready for bed and stop by to say hello. Okay. Oh, hi. Am I going to be doing a lot of these live shows at night? Now, probably not because, it's going to start getting it's going to stay warm for the next few days. It's going to, I might sneak a few more night ones in once in a while, but I'm not going to do as many as Michelle does. So, I need to make some slight changes on the setup on my channel eventually. Because I noticed, like, when I was preparing the stream in advance, it wasn't showing up as a featured video, and I got to change that. Oh, the regular streams do, but these webcam ones don't, so they take a little work to get through. Oh, okay. I explained that I'm not really in the mood to take phone calls today, so. Okay, I'm not taking phone calls today. No, not today. No, it's on Tuesday. Wednesday. Wednesday on my show, I might take phone calls, but not right now. No, I honestly, like I explained, is that I don't really know if I really want to open up the Pandora's box and start taking phone calls, because we've seen what it does to Michelle and then Michelle's show and how much it derails her 1,000%. It's very likely to do the same thing for me. So I would much rather just focus on the text chat, as Michelle likes to do too, because of her hearing loss. And of course, I share her ears. The phone calls are just add a whole nother layer to this. Unlike Michelle, I'm not as technically savvy. People don't realize that. So every time we have to do technical things, I might help Michelle with some analytics, but she actually is the one who actually knows a lot of this technology and hardware. So basically, this and the phone calls unfortunately has a habit of bringing in some problems for a first-time show. Maybe on Wednesday we might take some phone calls in the daytime, 1 o'clock. I don't know yet, and it depends on. We got a couple of people that are going to be helping me on my show, and I don't know if they really think the phones are really worth it. Regulators, I have seen you on Michelle's channel, and I don't really know what you want in life, but you obviously have found out and said to yourself that this is not worth it for you to be here. But why are you here? Why are you on the show? What is your problem? I'll catch the replay in the morning. Ignore the hate Lumi. It's everywhere. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. Well, the thing was, this was supposed to be fairly short anyway. I didn't really plan to do a major show. Oh, my God. 8 people? Wow. I guess I can stay running until about 11. I don't see why not. Let's try to get some good questions in. Let's look at the questions that are coming up here to see what commands silly girl, good girl. You're terrible. I'll just say that right now. You're terrible. You're not even, you're really, you're really sad. I don't think. No, Michelle doesn't really like dogs that much. She likes cats more, but her mom had three dogs, and she took care of the two older dogs, and they were good. But they were both black labs, and they were good dogs. They just did, took a lot of responsibility to take care of them, feed them, take them outside, and stuff like that. And she did that. She took them out. But strangers' dogs, she doesn't know. It's just like with people. People with Asperger's do not do well with strangers, because they put on the mask. Isn't this funny in some ways? It's like a mask. Like if you ever see what a person with Asperger's, they'll go ahead and they have a social persona and they have an internal persona. And so just like this, the social persona, they put on their wig, their makeup and stuff, and they act like this happy, cheerful person. The women are known as the chameleons because they can do things like that. They can play like the most fantastic hostess. Then at the end of the hour, 2 hours, that's when they take off their mask. That's when they take off their wig. That's when they take off their high heels, whatever, and they just basically hit on the badge and snore. Or if they don't snore, they decompress and do their own personal thing. And that's what makes it very interesting when you think about it. Must be hell not to have a wife. I think you're talking about this individual, huh? Yvonne, I can tell you right now that for people with autism, high-functioning autists, and yes, maybe the lower functioning as well, is that if they do have a social life, it's very small. Very small group of people. Only the ones that they really trust, that they really open up with. And it's more common among boys that they are less likely to congregate with a lot of other kids or adults. They really are the ones that are the loners, the real fools on the hills. The women, we may be able to, as I said, like these chameleons, but even they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna act like a chameleon. But like I said, they can only do it for so long. And then they just basically, they go home, they take off their mask, they take off their disguise, their chameleon face, and then they just go out there and just do self-stimming, or they grab a book, or they watch their favorite cartoon or their favorite TV movie or whatever, and that's what they do. But that's the reason why so many women with autism spectrum disorder are not diagnosed until they're older, because they learned long ago that what they had to do is they had to fit into these models to fit in. So they're willing to do the equivalent of makeup and dress up and stuff like that. Even as adults, that's what they do. It's really interesting. I know that. Yvonne Manning, no hate here. I know, Yvonne. I'm just saying Michelle doesn't like drama, so let's keep it out of here. Rachella says, no, not about me. I was meaning the people in here with no life. I have them blocked, so I can't read them. I have to give you a wrench. After all, you are a mod on Michelle's channel, and I actually would like to add a few other mods to this too. Let me see. How can I mod you? Yeah, there we go. It's a friggin' improvement than throwing people in the street. And Yvonne, I'm going to give you a mod wrench too, because you know me and you know Michelle, and I figured you guys can work together to keep the troublemakers out. Unlike Michelle, I'm going more like to boink you or throw you out, but if I have to. But I really, because on my channel, I don't know that many people, so I'm not afraid to take a risk and boink and throw people out. If that's what it takes to keep things from getting too crazy, I'll do that, but it's not really my first choice. Let's see. And he called Lumi service dog. Maybe you didn't realize how had to hurt Michelle and me. I'm sorry, I'm not a dog. I'm a woman. I'm a human being. I have blood. I have bones. I have muscle. I have sinew. I have a brain. I have feelings. I have dreams. I have aspirations, just like everybody else does. Oh, yes, I got a loving partner. Thank you very much. And that's something else. If I ever lost Michelle because of health conditions or stroke, me and Michelle already have backup plans for that. If one of us dies due to a stroke, the other will go ahead and play their character for the remainder of that life of the body. So I just don't know how Michelle would be able to cope without me. Or, heaven forbid, if it's the opposite. What if it's Michelle that dies? How can I play Michelle? I'm not Michelle. But it's a contingency plan that we have put together because we know that with age and health, it's a possibility. So I'm just gonna catch up here. But she is a service dog. That's better than an imaginary friend. No, I'm not an imaginary friend, and I'm not a service dog. I'm a human being. I'm a real person that shares this body with another real person that loves everybody. If you ever met me in person and sat down with me and talked to me in person, a lot of people who have met me said, Lumi, you're really a nice person, so is Michelle. You haven't done anything wrong. Just the internet, because of its nature, likes to basically rip people apart. And that's destructive. That's bad. No, far from it. Far from it. I got people that can prove that. I have people that can prove that to you. I'm completely separate from Michelle. Let me ask you a related question. Something a little more easier to understand for people. If you have a conjoined twin, and I mentioned Michelle loves Abigail and Brittany Hensel. She thinks they're absolutely the bomb. But I'm gonna make this more generalized. If you got a conjoined twin, and you or your twin are together, and you live together, and yet, does anybody say that your conjoined twin is not real? When they can see, say, that you guys are attached, either say by the chest or maybe by the belly. There was two men, older men that were attached by the belly, and they, had to learn how to do things in such a way that they can manage to live and function in society. Not everybody gets split in half because of a variety of reasons. And so would you call Dan an imaginary person? Well, Tim is still attached to him through their belly. Would you call them and say one of them is not real and the other is real? How can you determine if that's right to do when both have their own minds, their own personalities, their own way of dealing with things? It is not fair to dehumanize anyone. That's the thing that I'm trying to point out with. And let's see. NHL still likes to take 14 inches of BBC for an 8-ball. Rachel, you can send that person to the digital hell if you want. I am really not going to tolerate that kind of bullshit. No. I am not taking this bullshit. Whoa, wait. I don't want to do that. Hold on a minute. I don't want to do that. No, wait. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Fuck it. I'm gonna let these morons show how ignorant they are. I'll tell you why. If I block them, they're not going to learn. If I let them basically shoot their vitriol off, and then they later be proven that they're basically the locals that they're accusing me and Michelle being, then obviously I'm going to get to laugh in the end. Absolutely. This is an example of why it's so hard to produce good content, because of the reason is that people are judging people, and I think it's disgusting. And I will run a little longer. Oh, let's see. We're doing really good right now. We got 8 people on, which is fantastic. I have to think if the fact is that we can easily run to 11:30 or something. But after 11:30, I definitely am going to pull the plug for the night. Because I am not going to stay up to 2, 3, 4, 5 hours doing this show. You tell me what to do, one thing, and then another. Yeah, well, because I changed my mind for a second. You're right. You did the right thing in the long run. I have no problem with that. So, Bounty Hunter Dan says, I'm scared to talk because I'm going to get banned. Well, it depends on how you cover things. If you're trying to be respectable, you're not going to get blocked. If you're trying to act like a wise ass, you're going to get blocked. Okay, it's just that simple. It's how you carry yourself. You can say anything to anybody in the world you want, and you can say it in either way that's polite and respectable, and no one's going to bother you. And if you act like something else, and then act like a person who has an extra grade, yeah, you're likely to get thrown out the street. It just depends on how you talk about it. I won't make that long. I'm exhausted. Oh, this crack talk should have made me wide awake. Well, me and Michelle got back from McDonald's, and she was laying on the bed, and she was trying to relax, and then she woke up, and of course, so I woke her up unintentionally, and all of a sudden I had some anxiety issues, and she kind of cracked her eyes open. She said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Am I going to do good today?" I said, she says, "Well, you wanted to do a live show." Yeah, but what if I get treated like shit? Join the club. You've already been treated like shit by so many people anyway. What the hell does it matter? It actually does matter. It's just that people don't understand that it does affect people. Even everyday YouTubers, that trying to produce a good content, especially if they want to do content on specialized interests, get laughed at. And we have 2 choices. And I told this to Michelle, I said I wanted to go live, so I'm going live, even though I said, I just hope that it's going to go well. It's going to get hot in there. And it was getting warm in the couch room. But on the other hand, I already knew that's kind of why Michelle had this desk set the way it is, so that she could actually work in here with the door open, and the breeze coming in from the outside, and the breeze coming in through the window. And so that's why we do this here. I think she needs more, respectfully. Oh, what do you think? You are Robert Mueller? Special counsel? Oh, let's spend more of the government's money while we're at it. Is that really what you want to do? When, just like with Donald Trump, all it's going to do is it's just going to prove that he was just as innocent as they said he was, with no Russian collusion. So, same problem. If you know what the sign of insanity is, you just said it. Doing the same thing multiple times and expecting different results. There you go. That's insanity. And expensive. So keep that in mind. Oh, yeah. I believe she will when it needs updating. Robert Mueller. Yes, exactly. All that terrifying bullshit about Donald Trump is guilty of Russian collusion. And CNN ended up having to eat humble pie. And MSNBC had to eat humble pie because guess what? We here have found no collusion. But why the fuck did you spend $30 million to tell you when Donald Trump told you that he didn't collude? Okay? It's the same thing here. You want to spend more money on investigations and special counsel in my life and Michelle's life when it's been tested to death? Here's the thing that causes more anxiety. This is why Michelle went back into therapy for a while, and of course, like the grant money ran out, but that's okay because Michelle's therapist said that you and Lumi together can do great things. But she said, don't let those people fuck Michelle up. She said, Lumi, you're the stronger one of the two. Do not let those people fuck Michelle up. If you weren't there in her life, she would be in the mental ward for sure. Because you're the only one how Michelle can cope. If there's anything that goes wrong and you get told by some strangers to get the fuck out and you leave, Michelle is going to end up in a mental asylum. It's that serious. It's because Michelle and I are so interconnected that you cannot, especially if you armchair psychologists out there, is if you already been told by a board-certified, licensed psychotherapist, psychologist, and an advanced practicing registered nurse with licensing in the mental health field to basically stop diagnosing people repeatedly and traumatizing them and bullying them and insult them. If I were you, I would pay some heed to that. We're going to pretending to be someone else and not doing it as a comedy shit is crazy. And it is respectfully bothering you. Are you getting interrupted while watching other channels? You don't have to be here. All respect. Right, that's absolutely true. You don't have to be here. This is not the only YouTube channel in the universe. Neither is Michelle's channel the only YouTube channel in the universe. This channel is a place where I or Michelle on her channel or, together we do shows too. We can get a chance to express ourselves. You don't have to watch the channel. You can go anywhere else. You can go anywhere else and watch another channel. You can watch a channel of someone shooting some poor guy for being a Christian if you want. If you want to talk about Muslim or Islamic extremism, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you if you watch a channel where Christians are being beheaded, or if you're watching a channel where somebody's killing the kid and beating the kid until they die, or that they watch a channel of some kid eating the cinnamon challenge or the Tide Pod challenge or whatever. I'm not stopping you. You can watch whatever you want. It doesn't mean that I am not necessarily going to be interested in the same channel, but that just means, just like it sounds like, is that YouTube is a large place and there is lots of content. And for some people, what me and Michelle do is beneficial to them. They have even said so. They said, you two gave me the inspiration to come out of my shell and be who I am and not worry about trying to play some character on some TV show or something and being liked. I can be who I am and know that people get the chance to know what I got to say. That's what this channel does. That's what Michelle's channel focuses on as well. Blessed be. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Michelle. We obviously are doing something right. Because these people do find this interesting. That's why they keep coming back. The show that you told me about earlier, Comedy Central Low-Cal Carnival. Michelle said to you in the end, at first she said, yeah. And then she said, wait. Hold on a minute. That's what she said. Hold on a minute. Because what happens is Michelle really thought about it. She said, you know what, wait a minute. If this show gives the links to the channels, then maybe Michelle's channel could grow And just like Skynet said on Michelle's channel last night, is maybe you need to embrace the trolls a little bit because they make your channel grow. But yes, I do agree that they can be an asset, but you have to realize that there have to be some limits as to how much how far they can go, how long of a leash you give them, because I mean, it's a fine line. It's just absolutely a fine line. Yeah, you're right about the dislikes. It's just that it gets a little confusing. People do realize that respectfully. Rachel says, respectfully, I don't tell you what to watch. I said, you don't have to be here. All respect. Bounty Hunter says, respectfully, you are free to leave if you don't like it. Rachel to you says, respectfully, you're going in circles. Right. Exactly. And you know what? Here's a secret. They're going to keep going to the channel. They're going to keep watching the channel. They're going to keep laughing at the channel. But you know what? As long as they keep coming back, it tells Michelle that these people actually do like the content and that they are vicariously liking the show even when they see dislike because they really do like the show. In other words, they've been told that if you really hate a show, give it a like or something like that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but the point is, obviously, they come up here to watch the show at least for a few minutes of it anyway. So obviously, I can tell you right now, I have 6 people at this moment, 3 likes. Okay, that means a lot. 6 people are still on at approximately at 10:57 p.m. Eastern time on a Sunday night. Now that says something. That says you got to be doing something right. You have to be doing something right because if you got this many people watching at almost 11 o'clock at night at the Eastern time zone, I felt bad for the UK people because they don't get a chance to watch the show unless they stay up to 4 in the morning. That says a lot. Because when I first started my show today, it was like, it took a while for people to come in, and then they told the friends to come watch it, and then the friends, and that's what they're doing. Okay, they're coming in because the friends are telling them to come here, and so obviously, same thing with Michelle's channel. 8, 10, 12, sometimes as many as 15 people on Michelle's show. Respectfully, it is Michelle walking as Lumi has no legs. Oh, yes, I have legs. This body is a shared body. I walk, Michelle walks. We can move our arms together or independently. That's reason why it's a little different than the Abigail and Brittany Hensel, which one twin operates one arm and one leg, and the other twin operates the other arm and the other leg. But yet the 2 twins together have learned how to do things like walking and talking and typing and other manual things. Because I wouldn't be surprised if the 2 girls, for example, if they were musicians, they would probably both figure out how to play a piano one-handed. And so each girl would learn to play one side of the piano, and the other girl would play the other side of the piano. And because they have independent control, they could easily come up with their own separate musical pieces, and they would probably have to sit there and go, okay, let's put this together. Here's the notes I want to play. Play these notes on the keyboard. Okay, and I'm going to play these notes on the keyboard, and they may sing to each other and quietly say, this is a harmony I'm working on. And the other girl would say, yeah, okay, let's try that. It's the same thing when they're walking. Obviously, the 2 girls have had to develop the ability to keep time so they can prevent each other from falling over if their feet go totally out of proper position. That's really amazing to think about it. Bounty says, respectfully, it was Michelle walking. Lumi has no legs. Respectfully, no one here believes that. Research Project says it's 8:00 p.m. here, waiting for dinner to be delivered. How you doing, Research? Hey, welcome to my channel. Well, this is my show today. I'm hoping you and Yvonne, will be here. This is definitely right up your alley. Definitely. Research is studying in graduate degree right now to be a neuropsychologist, as he told me himself. And he and Rachel, by the way, is going through finishing her degree to become an advanced practicing registered nurse and PDO psychiatrics. So I think that's really interesting that we have two people in the mental health field. We actually have a third person that watches the show. His name is Ruben Whatever, which is a fully certified psychiatrist. He watches the show also. So I don't know if Ruben's on now. I'm sure he's asleep. But he was on my 2:00 show last Wednesday. So he will be on, I'm sure, maybe next Wednesday as well. Go Research. Yep. Team Research. Team R. Go for Team R. Definitely. Research is going to take what it's going to take to finally give me and Michelle and all the other two-souled people finally to be some recognition for our existence in the universe. Research Project. I'm curious what sort of things you enjoy that Michelle did not enjoy. Well, that's a funny thing because I really haven't had a chance to really do much individually from Michelle because I can tell you right now that I'm a soft butch and Michelle's a soft femme. So I'll tell you what I'm not afraid to do more masculine things. Like, for example, I don't have as many skills as Michelle does. I mean, after all, my background is really, really old, but there's a lot of skills that I share with Michelle, like doing things like 19th century housekeeping and but I don't really never had a chance to really explore it in this current lifetime. Many of my real special favorite things. We both love music. We both love a good comedy on TV. We both love documentaries. We both love sciences. We both are into languages. I know one thing that I said to Michelle one time, I said, you got to try a blood sausage. And she said, blood sausage? She said, well, Norwegians have them too. But I never had one. You never had a tempeh blood sausage. And she said, no. Well, someday we're going to have to see if we can get some. And she said, oh, great. Just what I need to get more blood in my life. It's actually true. Let's see. Bonnie, that is why are you here? At least answer that question. Respectfully, no one on this chat believes Lumi is real. Those who claim to believe are only lying to Michelle. Bounty, then why are you here? At least answer that question. And then, of course, Michelle said go Research at 1:02 p.m. and 1:03 p.m. Research Project says, I'm curious what kind of interest you enjoy. I just read that. Explain it to you respectfully because I go wherever I please and I don't have to answer your question. Yeah, it's true. You can go wherever you please unless it says no trespassing. It doesn't. This is a public chat. But, because, you're in a public place, unless you want to get looked at as in a bad way, it makes sense to try to be polite. And that's going to be the most important thing. Keep being polite and be courteous. See, let's talk about one thing. When I was born originally in Finland, Actually, I was born in Sweden, actually. My name was Lorena Annette Vanessa, okay? Originally from Stockholm. Okay, my father, Herman, and my mother, Helga, came into Kampi when I was 7 years old. Because at the time, Finland was still a duchy of Sweden. And he wanted to have a chance to start his dry goods industry up there in Kampi. So as a daughter of a grocer, I had to learn how to rotate the stock, and I had to learn how to do the register and things like that. Of course, we didn't have like you do today. It was mostly just keeping paper receipts and things, but still, these are skills I share with Michelle every day. We do this now. I help her do the accounting. She did learn how to do some accounting in college and high school, and I've been helping her to worry about watching the bottom line. And that's what I do, okay? I love to see people grow and learn new things. Unfortunately, I never did marry. I stayed single up until my death on March 11th, 1910. I've had several lives after that one, and most of them were not that good. And that was probably the most exciting life I ever had. And that's the years I chose to remember of my birth and death of. My prior lives, I really don't remember much of them. Michelle has similar past life experiences as well. Unfortunately, she didn't really have much of a good life for those years. In her, this is my 32nd life. But this is joined with Michelle's. So I'm going to say I've been around 31 times. This is Michelle's 33rd time. But individually, Michelle has been here 32 times. This is the first time that we have joined together. And was her spirit guide. For those of you who don't know that, when she was 3 years old, she met up with me when she was a little kid. And I've been with her ever since. But on the other side, we know each other very well. And then in 2010, she came to the realization that we were meant to be together. And that was the way it was written in the life chart on the other side, that we were to be together, but Michelle would have to invite me in. Otherwise, I would remain her spirit guide. And I said, yeah. I said, that's why you have an empty space that says vacancy. That's because that's for me, but it's up to you if you want me to come in. And she said, yeah, I want you to come in there because I need you. I need somebody to help me fulfill me because I feel very empty right now. Like, I know we're supposed to be together. And so that is how it worked out. We dated for a while before we started a YouTube channel. And then Michelle and I got married on May 1st of 2011, and we've been married ever since. And we've been physically together ever since. And I've seen this person go from a total clusterfuck, destruction, or dismal, miserable person to the person that you see today. And when Michelle is properly treated well, she can flower, she can do so many great things. But if Michelle is never given a chance to be able to grow and spiritually flourish, she is absolutely an absolute mess. It took, when me and her joined together, her MGAF went from 25 to 50. And that means that her ability to do more successfully and integrate into society increased by at least double. Now, Michelle goes out more. She talks to people more. Her Asperger's is still a problem. Her Asperger's is always going to be there. But she is much more calmer, and she's much more relaxed, and she's doing more. When you relax, if you have autistic spectrum disorder and you're calm, and you feel with a loved one, a friend that can help you, you can do great things. Ask anybody who has high-functioning autism. It's the same thing. They don't like going strange to places by themselves. But if they're with a loved one or a friend, they do better because of less anxiety. And that's why this has been such a great thing for both me and Michelle. For me, I get a chance to have a time to have a body again, and I don't have to wait until later. And for Michelle, it's great because she gets to be with her twin soul, and we get to live in peace, in harmony, and we love each other very deeply. And that's the reason why this is such a special union. And there's nothing like it. Of course, when it comes to technology, I'm a little bit out of my loop. Michelle's been teaching me how to do this equipment and how to make a better show, because this is more of her stuff. But she's been teaching me how to do that. Let's see here. You and Michelle have different music tastes. I really never really thought about that. Do we have different music tastes? Yeah, I think I do. Michelle tends to get into the more modern stuff, where I tend to stay with the classical and the Baroque. Michelle does like some of the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and 50s. I tend to like music by Johann Sebastian Bach, Handel, Mozart, a lot of the classicals. Michelle likes some of that stuff too. So it's really, and Vivaldi. Michelle loves Vivaldi's Four Seasons. So, and obviously that's one big difference about Michelle. Oh yeah, eating habits. I can eat vinegar. Some things with vinegar I can eat. It doesn't bother me. I don't dare try eating mayonnaise in this body, because I got a feeling that would send Michelle into anaphylactic shock. And so I won't dare eat mayonnaise, because I don't know how Michelle's food allergies would affect this body. But I did manage to get Michelle to eat certain vinegar foods, and she just hates it. She hates ketchup. I don't mind it too much, but Michelle hates ketchup. She cannot stand it. She will not order anything with ketchup. I've eaten ketchup. It doesn't really, interest me that much, but I'll eat it. But she is so terrified of it, she will not touch it. I'm sorry, I have to go. Dinner has been delivered. I will watch the replay. Yes, and we are going to get ready to wrap it up anyway. I don't think we need to keep going for now. After all, we have 5 likes, but we still got 7 people on. Here's the thing I'd like to ask the 7 people that are on. If you could help us to let other people know of the channel, and please do not forget to subscribe to the channel too, because this channel is still very young. It's still very new. And in a sense, it's new because it's just being recently kind of improved upon. I'm going to work on some of the artwork and some of the graphics on it. And I know Michelle will help me out to make sure we can get it so it looks more exciting, and the presentation will be more exciting. Or, it's like Michelle's trailer on her live streams is a snow scene. Mine's just a blue sky with the chemtrails in it, and that's kind of funny because I was the original Snow Queen of Finland, and yet I really never really did as well as Michelle. But we did not have the technology like we do today. Let's see. Respectfully, I wish Michelle could find enough happiness with herself, she wouldn't need this Lumi coping mechanism. It's not a coping mechanism, but Michelle has happiness in herself. She absolutely does. She has happiness because she has me, and she has other people, like her small group of people she knows in person, that help give her some happiness. And that's something that's very important. Right after this, you would. Michelle, you let your little Nazi start this. You dislikes are going to skyrocket for the next month. Well, tell you what, first of all, this isn't Michelle's channel. And second of all, is unlike Michelle, I don't give a fuck. That's the way I feel about it. I don't give a fuck. Michelle's the one who's worried about the dislikes so much. I don't give a shit, honestly, about the dislikes. I don't care. You know, true, it'd be nice if you showed a little courtesy, but I don't give a fuck. That's the one thing about me and Michelle you're going to get to understand. We don't see the world the same way. Let's see. Oh, I didn't do anything to Rachel at all. But I have no idea what the heck this is about. But, you know, no, I don't think so. I didn't do anything to Rachel. But you know what? I think it is time to get ready to wrap it up anyway. It is 11:16. Michelle's got to get up for the soup kitchen tomorrow. I got to get up for the soup kitchen tomorrow. Michelle's got to get ready to do her vlog for tomorrow. And I have to get ready to get some sleep too because I'm tired. And for right now, I want to thank everybody for coming to the show. I do hope that you will come back again. And we will do our best to come up with happy topics as well. I don't believe this. Yeah. All right. So, right now, guys, I'll see all of you guys in a few days. My show will be at Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 p.m. UK time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Until that time, stay out of trouble. See you later. Bye, everybody.